guys, Tiffany here. Welcome to my Quilting Live, episode 38 of the Insomniac Quilting Series. So if you are new to this and new to my channel, first off, head down that way, hit that subscribe button, or was it that way? I don't remember anymore. And subscribe and like my videos and channel and everything. Anyways, the Insomniac Series is when I come on anytime I feel like it after 10, when I can't sleep and when you can't sleep, obviously you're here watching me. It's where I do something new. I try to finish the same project within a couple episodes or as many episodes as it takes to get something done. It's always something different. I don't tell you what it is. You actually have to watch it to find out. So, yeah. So here I am. I don't know what I'm going to make, but I have some stuff here, so let's see what I can do with it. So first off, I sound raspy and I've had a fever. I feel sick, but that's not going to stop me from doing something. I need to do something. So I have, I think there's 8, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 fat quarters, and I think these are 1 yard cuts of 3 different colors. Yeah, that's 1 yard. Let's look at my table. Yep, 1 yard. Let's see, I'm pretty sure this is going to be 1 yard also. I give myself like an allowance of what I can use and what can I make with what I have to use. So I'm pretty sure these are 1 yard cuts, and I put these little piles together for videos, so that's 1 yard. And this is most likely going to be 1 yard as well. Yep. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 yard, 10 fat quarters and 3 yards of color to go with. So as always, we're going to figure out what I can make with all this. And look, my head isn't even in the screen. I could have swore my head was going to be in the screen. Let's do this up just a little. There we go. That way I'm not looking at the floor, or you're not looking at the floor. You're actually seeing me. So give me a second and I'll look at the comments and show you guys what I'm using. So we have a gray and black and darker gray stripe. We have a gray, dark gray, black and white background polka dot. Then we have a gray with lighter gray grid. And then we have a gray on gray washout is I guess what I would call it. And then we have a medium gray with a black polka dot. So this is what I am working with. And then solid white, cool gray, and black. And I'm pretty sure this is cool gray. I usually purchase cool gray every time, so because I like this color. So these are the colors that I'm working with. And I know you're thinking that if you look at this, that this cool gray does not go with the grays, but I think it'll all work out. Why? Because once it's blended together, you won't even know. And I don't have that in between gray. And if you look, they kind of gradually go in the gray color. So if you really look carefully, this is a darker gray than the stripe is in this gray. The blacks all go together. This gray is a totally different gray than this gray. The gray that's in here matches the gray that's in here, and the grid color matches the light, and the grid color matches this light. And this gray don't go with any of it. So we're going to make it work. Why? Because we can. And white and gray and black blend everything anyway. So hi Karen, hi Jill, hi Linda, hi Terry, hi Shirley. Won't be able to hang out tonight, but wanted to say hello. Okay, Jill, we'll hang out as long as you can. I haven't even turned my iron on yet. So the Insomniac series is join me in your pajamas and let's make something. So I'm going to start by pressing all of it because that makes things so much easier. And then while I'm pressing, I will decide, you know, what I want to do with it. And if you see me scratching my nose a lot, I do have to say this in advance. I've been getting bloody noses a lot, and it's really dried out inside there. And right now it's moisturized because I just moisturize. So now it itches. If any of you have had bloody noses all the time and then dry out after bloody noses and then moisturize and clean, you'll understand where I'm at right now. So I'm going to turn you to face the ironing board and you just watch my backside for a moment. I'm going to bring this over. Thank you. My daughter put it in braids for me because my head itches so bad. I just like want to pull all my hair out. So to prevent me from doing so, we did French braids to prevent me from scratching my head to death. And so that you can see this side of the room better, I could actually bring you guys over here, probably make it even easier because I am now 100% mobile. So I could just come right here so you don't have to stare at my butt and I can just keep looking at the screen. There we go. So you always want to start by pressing out fat quarters. Of all pre-cuts, fat quarters have to be pressed. Every company folds their fat quarters differently. I fold my own fat quarters differently when I make them. So I try to make sure they're 100% as flat as I can get them and straight. So here's one, and I'm just going to go stack them over here behind you. Although I do need to move the rulers and fat quarters. So I hope everyone is doing well. I am trying myself to do well, but it never seems to ease up as much as I could or would have hoped. Couldn't go to the doctors because I have a fever. Because, well, the whole COVID thing, doctor's offices still won't let you in with a fever. So I just figured there's no point in leaving the house because I have fever. And I already know what it is. It's from having valley fever. It's part of the symptoms. So no news on that part of my life. Anybody sewing right now? And just so you know, for those that are new, fat quarters also, besides being pressed, they need lots of steam while you're pressing them. And sometimes I starch them, but most of the time I can get away without doing. So I just use lots and lots of steam. But if I have to, like, if it's crooked, really, really crooked, which happens, which some of these are happening, I will straighten it out, press it with steam, straighten it out, press it with steam, then starch it and then dry iron it so that it will stay the way I want the fabric to stay. Because sometimes they're just a little bit too funky and crooked. So I need to get all that to go away. And I press on the grain both ways, if you haven't noticed. I go this way, and then I go with the grain this way. Karen is sewing some 2.5-inch squares together for a border. Thanks for keeping me company. Oh, well, I needed company too. While I decide to make, I don't know what yet. Because I have no idea. I'm kind of thinking I'm going to open my block book and choose a block and just kind of repeat that same block over and over again. I like star blocks, honestly, so maybe something with a star. Or maybe I can pull out my 60 to and try something with that. Actually, that kind of sounds good for these because there's some stripes involved. I think I might just do that. I only have 1 yard of the other 3 fabrics, but I can surely add black and white. I don't have any more gray though. But we'll see. I loved your last video you posted. Oh, good. Thank you. I'm glad it is being watched. I saw something online a long time ago and I was like, can I replicate that? And then I drew it out and then I tried it a few times on a few different blocks and it sat and sat and sat in a drawer for years. And then my best friend said, I showed it to her one day. I was like, what do you think I do if I should do this for a video? She says, well, how do you even make that? I was like, well, first off, I got to figure out how to make it with 10-inch squares. So that's what I did. Figured out what to do and made it for you. Obviously, it's been sitting for a very, very, very long time. But sooner or later, I get to my videos. Oh, that one had a hanging thing stuck to it. That's interesting. I'm hanging on the hanger chingham-bobber. Starbucks too. I bet whatever you come up with will be great. I kind of want to challenge myself a little, so maybe I should pull out a 60-degree ruler. I like to challenge myself. And since I can't sleep, and you guys can't sleep because you're here with me, challenge might be good. Let me press all this stuff first, though. I want flat fabric to start with. What I love about these episodes is you guys get to see me create things just randomly. Most of the time, these Insomniac videos actually have no pattern or anything in mind. I just start with something and work my way through. And I need to add some more water. Hi, Aunt B. So I'm going to add some more water. I'm starting to realize the only thing I'm starting to not like about this iron more and more about this Panasonic cordless is it doesn't stay off the charger long, and it definitely goes through water really fast for steaming. It does have good steam though, but it goes through a lot of the water quick. And I don't like that it can't stay off the charger long. So I have dedicated, this iron is now dedicated to mainly just piecing. But when it comes to pressing the quilt top and quilt backs and anything before long arming or finishing a process, I think I'm going to switch to using a regular corded iron for all that kind of stuff. Even though this is wonderful. All right, one more fat quarter, and then I will press the yardage, but I'm only going to slightly press it because it's just been folded on a shelf. This idea right here, whatever it was supposed to be, this set was put aside like, I don't know, 8 months ago. You can tell how long I procrastinate things. I just get these dumb ideas in my head. And it sits there. And this was when I first started the Insomniacs. This is actually before I started the Insomniac series. I think I meant to do this like on a Sew Sunday or something. Honestly. It's been sitting there for like 8 months. I don't know how long I've been doing the Insomniac series. Alright, so I'm going to keep these folded in half, but I'm just going to give them a quick press in half. Let it come down that way a little. Because they're just 1 yard cuts. So I have plenty of space This was probably the end of a bolt because it's kind of crooked. All right, I'm going to set these aside. Hi, Nita. Tiffany, I just saw you were on. I was looking on some hourglass blocks. Hi, BJ. Some hourglass blocks from what were you watching? Just looking up hourglass blocks? There we go. Nice and flat. Or as flat as I'm going to eat it, I should say. Now for some white. Okay. So once this is done, I think I'm going to go ahead and go with the 60-degree ruler because that's what I feel like doing. So I'm probably going to have to do some math tonight to figure this, whatever I'm going to do out, but I kind of like have a general idea, I think, star-wise, what I'm going to do in my head. All pressed. Let me take you guys back over. You're going to wiggle for 2 seconds. Well, not really. Well, maybe it will wiggle, huh? All right. Take you back over here. I'm going to grab out my ruler. Ugh. I knew that was going to fall. So I have this wonderful tub here. Isn't that just too cute? I kind of just throw the rulers in there. Let's see. Equilateral triangle, right? I've never even used this one. Yep. Okay. No, because I want a whole diamond. I have a whole diamond one in here somewhere. What degree is that? Okay. Okay, now I got to pull it all out. Oh, here it is, right here. This one doesn't have the halves. Where's the one that has the half? That's my pineapple. Square templates. Aha, here we go. Multi-sized diamond. Right here, the Marty Mitchell diamond. I am not going to be doing anything from in here. Although the book has all sorts of stuff for hexagons out of the 60-degree diamond. But I'm going to use it as a whole. It might be something like that, honestly. We'll see right now. Okay. Let's just put the book away and just use that only. I gotta figure out how to make what I'm gonna make because I think I need 2.5-inch strips. I'll leave that out. Let's put all this back. Because I don't think this diamond is like this diamond. It's not the same size, and this one doesn't have the dog ears cut off, so that'll make it easy for me. Alright, we're going to leave that out for now, though. I'm dropping everything in my room real quick. I don't mean to, but it's happening. Okay. I'm going to bring you over here for now. I'm going to start with figuring out what size I need to cut real quick. Just by looking at how this diamond works. So if I cut this whole entire thing, it means a half needs to be 6.5. 4.5? That's a 4.5. I'm looking real quick, guys. So yeah, that's 4.5. So 2 inches. 2, 4, and 1 inch. No, that won't work because that will get me 4.5. Yeah, so 2. How about 2 1/4, 2 1/4, and a 1 inch? No, that won't work. I need pens. I got my little thing here. No, that's right. 2, 2, 4 minus the quarter. So yeah, I need 2 1/4, 2 1/4, and a 1 inch. Aha. That should equal 4.5, right? 2 1/4, 2 1/4. That's finished. That should be it. My brain is going crazy. Did you braid your own hair? No, I can't braid my own hair anymore. And when I do try to braid my own hair, it's a Dutch braid. It comes out outward, not inward. And it's always sloppy, like super sloppy. So I don't braid my own hair anymore. All right, so from this, I'm going to cut 4.5 inch strips, I think. That's what it says, right? 4.5? No, that's more than 4.5. I'm going to cut, because I'm just going to cut them this way, right? No. I don't do 60-degree diamonds very often, guys. Can you tell? And then the other one would come off this way. So I'm cutting a 4.5 inch strip. Okay. All right, so I'm going to cut these into 4.5 inch strips. I'm going to take one of each, though, to start. So that'll be 5 of these. Just so I can get the general idea of what I'm doing here. And if you want to learn, you can learn with me. Okay, I have degree diamonds before. You guys have seen, and you've also seen me do equilateral triangles. But I've never done what I'm doing now. So this is a learning experience for both you guys out there and me. So anything that's mistakes, any kind of mistakes you will see gone wrong, you will see it live, in person, on here, so you will know what not to do if I screw up. All right. So I'm going to keep these together for a minute. We're going to make sure what I'm doing works. Because if it does, that'll be awesome. All right, so I'm going to cut 4.5 inch strips. I'm going to restack all these. Darn it all. I should have been stacking them. No, 2 1/4, 2 1/4, and 1 is 5.5. Are you adding that with or without seam? Because I'm minusing the seam. I'm going to get rid of 1/4 here and 1/4 there. And then the 1 inch is only going to be 1/2 inch when it's done. So it should be, yeah, whatever. I'll figure it out in a minute when I pull up a calculator. Let me just start with cutting these. So I'm lining all my selvages up. So I can just cut 4.5 inch strips. Make it easier. And I'll line them all up on a line. Try and hopefully have as many strips as I could possibly get out of it, but I know that I'll have a lot of waste because that always happens with fat quarters. Always, always, always. Because see, look how crooked these things are. So I'm going to make sure that every single one of these is beyond this line right here so that I can make my first cut. Everything's straight. This is straight right here. I'll reach down here and grab me my big ruler. Line up on this line. On this line. You got me really confused now. Yeah, I confuse people. I'm going to cut 4.5-inch strips so I can cut out these diamonds. Obviously, I will have leftovers because this is fat quarters, so I'm not going to be able to get the full amount that I would if I was doing it with, there's 4.5, if I was doing it with full yardage, the full length strips. This is 4.5. So I'm just right now cutting 4.5-inch strips from my fat quarters. I love working with diamonds, so if I confused any of you guys, I'm sorry in advance. I should honestly be able to get one more 4.5-inch cut, but these fat quarters are very wonky. So it looks like that is not going to happen at all. So I got 3 at least. So this I'm just going to fold up right here and put it aside because I can use that as part of what I'm doing later. I'll just stick it aside for now. I'm going to put this under there. Move this up out of the way. That out of the way. This down because now I'm going to focus on just one at a time. I'm going to line my 60-degree ruler up on here, flat to flat, even though, let's see, no, it doesn't really matter. It says baseline, straight line. So I'm just going to line it up right here, right there. I'm going to start by cutting this edge. If I can cut, I should have changed my blade. That would have been a smart thing to do, huh? And I'm going to cut this little thing out. Those are all nice and cut out. Hold it down. I'm not going to move anything. Except for sliding that out of the way and cutting off these little tips. So here's one pile of them. Now I can cut again. So you should be able to pick up the ruler and just keep laying it on over and over again. So I'm going to lay it on here, nice and straight, nice and straight. Probably only be able to get it 3 times, which is fine because I think all I would need is 3 of each color. Oops, oh, got to cut the little thingies off. I usually don't trim these off, but I don't do 60s as often as I do 45s. Diamonds, that is, degree wise. So 2, yeah, I'll get 3 per, which is fine because the rest can be used for the opposite of what I'm thinking right now. So let's cut this next one. Slide that out of the way. Okay. There's 3. I'm just going to chop that off right here on this straight edge. I'm just going to save these for later because I will use them for something. I don't know what, but I will. Okay. I don't let anything go to waste. So I'm going to throw those aside. I'm also going to throw that aside. Move that out of the way so that everything can be stacked over there. And keep that this way. And that is garbage. So let's do this again. Take another set. I should really get better than this with my whole left hand and need new blade. I'm just too lazy to change it. Pretty sure some of you are the same though. You don't want to change anything. You're lazy like me. Trim that. Come over to this side. Sure hoping you guys could see what I'm doing here. I just looked at the screen and didn't realize that I could kind of see it, but kind of can't. I'm going to cut this little end off real quick with the salvages. That way I don't have to do it afterwards while I'm right here in this step. And that could be used for something else. And that goes in the garbage. Let's line this up again. And cut again. And again. 3 times per strip. So it means you would get 6 if you were using a whole entire selvage to selvage strip set. 4-inch, 4.5 inch, I mean, strip. All right, there's 2 and 1 more. Again, I'm working with the 60-degree Marty Michelle diamond template. So right now I'm just cutting diamonds from my fat quarters first. And then I'm saving my stuff on the side. 1 more strip set. And that will give me some pieces to start with. And then I still need to cut some yardage. And I'll look at the comments in a second. Right now I don't want to chop any fingers off because I'm kind of shaky. I've been shaky for days. I don't want to take any risks of cutting anything. Need to focus. And yes, I'm saving my little pieces. For those that are new to my channel, I save all my scraps. Unless it's like under 1 inch, then I won't save it, obviously. Sometimes I don't even save inch pieces, but if it's a strip, I will. Only because I can. Okay, all those are done. Those are out of the way. Okay, now to cut some yardage, because I'm not going to start putting anything together just yet. Now I need to figure out those numbers real quick, and I'll look at comments before I figure out numbers. You got me really confused. Hi, Tiffany, everyone. Tiff, dull blades will damage your mat over time. I know this. It's horrible. I need to change it. Hi, Kim. Hi, Kim. Hi, Kim. Your hair looks cute. So what are you making? Whatever I feel like making with the 60-degree Marty. Is it Michelle or Mitchell? It's Mitchell. Michell. It's Mitchell, yeah. Marty Mitchell template. I don't think I'm doing anything from this. I'm just making up my own thing since I like diamonds. I got to do some math. So I'm going to put you guys down out of the way real quick. Oops. Because I got to do a little bit of math. So I got to draw something real quick. Just so that my brain references this. So this would be 2, 2, 5. This would be 1. This would be 2, 2, 5. So where's my thingy? Just, I know you guys said it, but 2.25. 1 equals 5.5 minus 0.5 minus 0.5 minus 0.5 minus 0.5 equals 4.5. Exactly what I wanted. So I'm going to be cutting 2.5 inch strip, 1 inch strip. I mean 2 1/4 inch strip, 1 inch strip, 2 1/4 inch strip. That will give me, when pieced together, a 4.5 inch strip unit. That's what I want, is a 4.5 inch strip unit. That's what I'm looking for. And I'm going to keep saying it. 2 1/4, 2 1/4 plus 1 minus 1 inch completely because there's 2 1/2-inch seams taken away. And there we have it. That's what I'm doing. So I'm going to start with just a couple pieces of fabric for now because I'm not going to make a zillion blocks at once, but we're going to start by taking 2 2 1/4 and 2 1 inches from each of the colors. So I'm just going to lay these together and cut them together. And I guess while you guys are here, I'll show you how to change a blade. And if I cut myself on a fresh new blade on camera, I'm going to be mad because it always happens. Every time I change my blade, I cut myself. But we're going to do it anyway because I need to be able to cut through 6 layers with ease. All right. So I'm going to start by lining all these up, and then I'm going to go grab my blades and we're going to change it for those that want to learn how to do that. If you're not sure what to do, you're going to learn it right now. I've never actually covered an episode on doing things like that, so maybe you'll find things like that in some of my episodes of different things that I do. I never do it on cam, but I'm going to do it because I'm having a struggle, and left-hand cutting is the same as right-hand for me. All right, let's find a 60. Here is a 60. All right, I hope you guys can see this up here. So if you have the Olfa, this is how it works. This is the Olfa is the only one I have. So I'm going to turn you guys down for a second, and I'm going to zoom in right to here so that you can see where I am right here. I'm going to start by holding my finger right here. Let's hope that you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to skip this ad to come back. Oh my God, are you serious? Come on. All right, so I'm going to start by finger 1, finger here, finger 1 here. I'm going to come to the back side, and I'm going to twist this right here. So we're going to untwist this. So righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. We're going to go lefty-loosey. We're going to pop this off, and just the way it came off, I'm going to... Okay. Don't worry, I didn't keep going. Let me turn the camera around. Okay. Here we go. Let me zoom back in. I lost the internet connection. All right, stay right there. I didn't keep going. I'm here. Okay, guys. Hope everyone realizes I'm back. Hi, April. All right, so where was I? Cleaning off this stuff. It gets so much buildup. Build up, build up, build up. Clean it all out, okay? This is for the Olfa blade and for any of the other ones. See all this in here? I don't know how well you guys are going to see, but there's so much dust in there. You can take a little brush and go in there, or you can take your finger, blow it out. So much. Look at all that. See? All right. So while it's in this position, even though you have so much dust on your black fabric, we're going to pop out a new blade. We're going to be very careful about this because they're very sharp, like super duper very sharp, and they always have some kind of oil on them. All right. And I am going to attempt to, with a pin, see that? Get one out of here because they're hooked together with oil. Okay, so I popped one out. See that? And I'm going to grab it with my fingers very carefully. Like literally, do not slide it against your fingers. Just hold it in your fingers. And you're going to place that. There's so much oil on this thing. I like feel like I need to wipe it on something. I don't have anything to wipe it on. I'll wipe it after, I guess. I'm going to place it down right here. Just like that. I'm going to line these using my fingers on the oily part of the blade, which is very hard to do. I'm going to line up these divot thingies, making sure everything is nice. Sliding that back up where it goes. Thank you. Keeping it up. Now I'm going to take this. See how filthy that is? That is just from the rotary cutter right there. I'm going to clean that. Okay, sort of cleaned off. I don't want too much of that on my fabric. Okay, so now I'm going to slide this back on top, hold my finger on it like this, flip it upside down. Those pieces, I never moved them out of their place. I just laid them like that. I'm going to put this piece back down on there. Just the way it wants to lay. It could go on the little square thing. There we go. Pick this piece up just the way it was and righty-tighty until your finger starts moving. See how that's twisting? That's as tight as I go. So if it starts turning my finger, you know, like that, then we know it's tight. And it's as tight as it needs to get. Make sure it slides. It's not too tight. There's so much oil on there. So now I'm going to use the clothing of mine with the blade closed to wipe some of that oil off. And there we have a blade change. Remember, you can use a pin to separate them because they always come in these packages, and it's so much easier to just throw a pin in there so you don't cut yourself, you know, because they don't just slide right out. And then close your good package, and then I'm going to go grab my thing that I keep my other ones in. Look at this mess that came from it. Like, look at all that dust. So gross. And then I have a use somewhere around here. I have no idea where it went. For now, because I cannot find my used thing, I probably have it in another drawer. I'm going to pick this up. I'm not going to slide it on my fingers. Place it on my fingers like this. And I'm just going to slide it into an envelope for now. And with a pencil, I'm going to write USED, used, on it so that I know not use it again. And that looks like a V, but that was me trying to write with a pencil with no lead. I'm going to lay it over here for now so that I remember to discard of it later. Now, I don't even have hand sanitizer in here, do I? Now you need hand sanitizer. And to get all this off of your fabric. I shouldn't have done it on fabric. You guys could see better this way, so that is how a blade is changed. I had to go rinse my fingers. They're kind of oily. Give me 2 seconds because I don't have hand sanitizer in here. I'm going to trip over a kid. Okay. Constantly tripping over this stupid kid head. All right. Now that that's done and my hands are clean, let me zoom back out. Oh, that's the right way. Okay. And tip you back so where you can see my face. Sorry for the wiggling and all that stuff. Why does this keep falling? I have no idea. I'll just adjust as I go. Okay. Hopefully you can see. I now have a new blade. Now I should be able to cut more accurately. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead. This was like the last of the bolt, most likely. That's why it's like crooked like that. I'm going to make sure all of this now hangs over this starting area because I'm going to cut 2 1/4 inch strips and 1 inch strips from my yardage. And I'm also making sure that everything is lined up over here, which it is not. Now it is. Now it is. I can't see it that way because, well, yeah, I just can't see that way. So I'm going to come back just a little this way. Now that everything's lined up straight, that's crossing over, and that definitely is crookedly crossing over. Grab out my ruler. Okay. Now let's see how much better this cuts. without cutting myself, because that's what always happens with a fresh blade. So if I start gushing blood, don't worry. You don't need to call 911. I'll sew myself up. Just kidding. I really, huh? It cuts like butter. Look at that. Okay, so fresh blade, so much better. All right, so I'm gonna turn this around, and I'm gonna go to 2 1/4. I'm gonna line up 2 1/4 all the way down, and I'm gonna cut 2 2 1/4s from each of these. Wait, I'm doing 3 sets, huh? I cut 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so I need 3 2 1/4s, and no, I only need 2 because we'll just do 2 for now. Well, let's do 3. We're gonna do 3. Okay, 1, and they're 2 1/4 inch right now is what I'm cutting. This will be number 2. I literally have to put no pressure down. Look at that. New fresh blade. I should have nice accurate cuts now. Oh, we're gonna do a 3rd one. Yeah, that's right, because I have like 3 sets going on right now. So okay, so we're gonna do 3 for 3 different combinations. And now we're going to do 1 inch. I know that's so small for some of you, but we're going to cut 3 1 inch strips. Lining it up, nice and lined up. 1. And I'm still going to be able to cut more later. I'm just cutting all this for now to start sewing, since all I'm doing now is cutting. And sometimes I just want to get to the sewing. I know some of you are like, yeah, let's get to the sewing. So that's what I'm going to do. You guys really want to know what I'm doing anyway. All right, and 3. Aha, okay. So I'm going to close that blade because it's nice and fresh, and it's definitely a killer. And I want to be super careful. I'm going to move this out of the way for now. I'll cut more as needed. So that's out of the way. So now I have 3 1 inch strips, 1 of each color. And then I cut 3 of the 2 1/4, which gives me 3 of each color. And these are 3 of each color, but 1 of each. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. So now I'm going to pair these up into two of the same color. Two of the same color. Oh, I didn't have to do that. I did need to cut 4 of those. I wasn't thinking. All right, now I'm going to put a black with the gray, a gray with the white. That's not enough contrast. Let's put gray with the black, black with that, white with that. That looks more contrasty to me. Yes, and I need to cut 1 more of these so I can make more combos. But for now, these are my combos. So let's sew my combos. Okay, let's get that part done. Mary, do you ever sleep? Everyone always asks me that. I do sleep sometimes. Do you guys sleep? I sleep when I need to. Actually, I've been sleeping a lot lately. All right, so I'm going to sew these combos together. So there's 1 strip unit, 2 strip units, and 3 strip units. And the rest of this I'm going to move out of the way. I'm also going to move this out of the way. And I'm also going to put the camera over here in front of me so you can answer to me to see me sew. And hopefully you'll see my face while I'm sewing, because you know me, I like to look at the camera while I sew. I'm going to move all this stuff out of the way for now. All right. Hi, Diane. Hi, Mary, by the way. Hi, Linda. I think I said hi to you, but I'm not sure. In April. Okay, I made sure I got anybody that's new. There's 34 of you here. You guys can say hi. You don't have to be afraid. All right. It's nighttime. Nobody cares what anybody has to say. We're just having fun. All right. So, move that to the side. I'm just going to use white thread because, well, if I use black on the white, then it's going to look retarded. Using white on the black, it's okay, but I'm going to stick these right sides together, and I'm going to sew my 1-inch strip to my 2 1/4 inch strip with a 1/4 inch seam, and I'm going to be very, very careful with that 1/4 inch seam. And I'm just going to line them up and speed sew all the way down. All right, I'm going to come up here, and now I'm going to finger press this towards the gray. I know normally I wouldn't do that, but I'm going to anyway, and if that you hear that really weird sharp sound, that's because I don't really have fingernails anymore. Thanks to the fact that I itch so bad, I cannot go get them done because I'm scratching myself really bad, so I'm going to do my best to open this up. So, okay, good. I'm sewing with like a 2.1 stitch length because I am going to be subcutting all this. Things I have in my mind I need to get out. All right, so now I'm going to take the next, I'll press this at the iron when I'm finished. It's right sides together of my next color. And I'm going to speed sew that all the way down. I'm going to make sure that it stays lined up. For now, it's finger pressed, my little 1-inch. So everything should mostly come to where it's supposed to. Like I said, normally I wouldn't use white thread on black fabric. I usually use black thread. But because this is a black and white quilt, it's kind of better to just use the white. I'd rather have black or white thread poking through black fabric because you can color that with a permanent marker if the seam opens too much, which it shouldn't if you use a tight enough stitch length. Then use black thread on white fabric and see right through it, which you can with most white fabric. I don't give a crap what brand it is. You can see through all white fabric. Some not as much as others, but mostly you can see through all white fabric. All right, so here's one strip unit, and I'm just going to finger press this also towards the black. So this is all going downward. And when I take this over to the iron, it'll be pre-ready to be sort of pressed. And when you're finger pressing, make sure you're opening that seam up. You can do open seams if you want, but I see no point. And since I'm just making things up as I go, I would rather my seams all go a specific way because what I'm thinking is going to happen is all my seams are going to need to go one way. So here's one strip set. So this is the black with the gray. And I'll just throw that over there because it's going to need to be pressed. Now I'm going to do the white with the gray. So first I'm going to do these right sides together, adding the 1-inch first. Again, I'm going to be very mindful of that 1/4 inch seam because I'm making a 4.5 inch strip when I'm finished. reason why I can keep sewing, I know some of you have noticed a lot of quilters stop and then adjust, stop and then adjust. I've told you guys this in many of my videos, my middle finger underneath my first finger, and then I use my thumb to move it along my first finger to align my strip as I go before it gets to the needle. And I kind of use my other hand to just make sure that everything's lying flat once I adjust it with my hand. That way there's less starts and stops, and I can just keep sewing and sewing. As long as you can hear me saying, I just keep sewing and sewing. So now I'm going to press towards the white. I know you don't press towards white normally, but I'm going to, because I am going to do all of my seams in all the same direction. Sorry, I'm not catching all of the comments because I'm kind of going to try to start making sure that everything is getting sewn and done in a most decent time, and I'm not just lollygagging, because I'll end up lollygagging, and you guys know what my lollygagging ends up like. I'm up for hours and I don't ever get much accomplished. I really want to get more accomplished before this idea disappears out of my brain. Hi, Joy. I was asleep, but Opal, my black mastiff, keeps waking me. She thinks I'm in her bed. Storms. I don't have nails either. Wind, no rain, gazebo, twice more. How about you? 530 pounds. It's so much here in Missouri. Mostly wind. Okay, I'm gonna put this next one right sides together. Really can't tell with the solid, but here's a little secret. If your fabric came off the bolt this way, and this is how you cut your fabric, and this is your fold from the top, then that means when your valley is down below, that means it's right sides together. If your valley at peak is going up, that means it's right side up. So I'm making sure my peak or valley faces down. So that's how I know it's right side together, because there are some prints that read completely solid, but the back side of them is not. So just a tip, I guess. I'll let that get tangled in my lap. Sundays are good too. Today was beautiful, my kind of weather. The wind makes me really nervous. 70s. It was windy here for a couple days in a row, like super bad windy. We couldn't even keep the cover on the pool, so the pool water is actually freezing cold, because when we have to take the cover off, then yeah, it gets exposed to elements. Plus, it wasn't very warm the last couple days, but today it was. It was 102 today, or 104 at the highest, I think. But I was outside, but it was 102 earlier today, because you guys know I go outside to smoke. So, all right, strip set 2. This should be 4.5 inches. 4.5 exactly. Once I press it, it'll be like exactly spot on. So, all right, third strip set is going to be my white with my black. So we're going to have that right sides together. So technically I just need to open them and they become right sides together. I'm going to line it up on the same exact side. I've been lining everything up this whole time. Untangle myself in my lap. Doesn't work very well when fabrics become tangled. And I'm going to finger press this towards the black while I try to read some comments. Gust of winds, that's how it was. We could hear dogs went out this morning, stop the tracks, saw the gazebo. Your hair is cute tonight. So thank you. Maxine braided it for me. She did my hair, and then Triana was like, I want an Elsa braid. And it was just the cutest thing. So we held her head to the side, actually this way, started a braid on one side, went down her head and went around. She did not like being forced to move this way. Usually Tiffy just does, you know, a little braid on each side for her. And she wanted an Elsa braid. So a proper Elsa braid came from one side, French braided into the other. So when we're done, she realizes she only has one braid, not two like Tiffy. She got really mad. She didn't want to look in the mirror. She's like, I want two braids. Elsa, I want Elsa braid. I said, Elsa only has one braid, baby. She got so mad she didn't want to look in the mirror. And then finally she got over it and she's like, oh, look, I have an Elsa braid. Yeah, it is cute. So Triana, she'll sit still more than Sasha will for braids. So I have Maxine usually braid mine now because I can braid my own, but it's always a Dutch braid. I don't think there's very many people that can't braid non-Dutch braids on themselves, because when you're upside down, you're flipping under, which creates the Dutch braid, and not over, which creates the regular French braid. And yeah, it hurts my arms and stuff. But to prevent me from scratching my head, because my hair falling out is causing a lot of itching on my head, I just had her put my hair up in braids. I said, well, I'll just wear it in these braids for as long as I can take the itching. Yeah, I have cute little braids for the night. And when I let it out tomorrow, I'll have poof hair, because that's what happens to my hair when it's in braids. And then it only lasts for like half the day. It's actually lasts longer than when I curl my hair with a curling iron. My hair doesn't curl with a curling iron. You can start on one side, and by the time you get to the middle, the first curls are already gone. They disappear. Even with hairspray, I do not have very curlable hair. We've tried those sleep braids on my hair too. Those, not sleep braids, the sleep curlers. I've foam curlers. I've tried the wet curlers. I've tried the non-wet ones. I even have the ones where it's like a foam thing that you twist it and then you can bend it so that it sits nice on your head. They are okay to sleep with in your hair. Surprisingly, they're not really annoying. But tried all that kind of stuff. My hair just does not curl. But it will be poofy after braids for hours. It's kind of weird. I have very thin, non-manageable, thin hair. I've never been able to style it for many years. I used to crimp it when I was a teenager, but that's before more and more hair dye started reaching my head. All right, so here's my third strip set. So we're going to go over to the iron as soon as I read a couple comments. Hair is so curious to see how your block comes together. But not feeling great, so I'll catch the rest of the replay tomorrow. Okay, Linda, we'll see you. Take care and feel better. Remember, thumbs up. Thanks, Kim, for the reminder. Tiff 102 is 102. Our 102 is 110 with humidity. Yeah, that's got to suck. I can't do humidity. They got back from Kansas, huh? Yep, they came back yesterday and then came here today. We call them top braids. My air conditioner and shop couldn't keep up for 2 days. It was so humid and about 90. Ay, it's been bad in Topeka. Darn, that's crazy. All right, I'm going to turn you guys facing the iron. I have to turn the iron even back on. And for those that are just joining, remember, Insomniac Series, I'm always in my pajamas. Everything is done in my pajamas, in the comfort of my own home, while live on YouTube. All right, I'm going to move all this out of the way for now so I can press these. Everything just stay out of my way. I have a general idea of what I'm doing here, so I'm going to lay these where I finger pressed, nice and flat, and not let them curve or bend. Wait for this iron to get nice and hot. I'm just going to use my finger for now and just like massage that nice and straight and flat. That way when I press it, it lays flat. Oh my goodness, come on. I keep wanting to scratch so bad. My back has a big rash on the top half. Oh, it itches so bad. And then the inside of my nose, under my chin, around the top part of my head, a little bit on my scalp where there's the bald spots. Maxine's like, oh, Mom, you got so many bald spots. I'm like, it's going to happen. And then the whole back of my head. Oh, it's so bad. I just want to like scratch myself to death. All right, so I'm just going to push these up with the dry iron, keeping my piece nice and straight. It really doesn't matter because I'm going to be subcutting it anyway. And then I'll steam it. So I have a nice crisp piece. So all of my seams are going one direction. This is going to be making it easier. I should, however, make sure that the seams are nicely laying flat. It'll annoy me when they're not. Let's just go over that real quick. Darn that OCD. All right. Piece one done. And I'm going to take it over here behind the camera, out of the way. Piece two, let's see which way, this way. I want to lay it on the ironing board where my seam is going to go up away from me. It makes it easier to press them towards you when a seam goes up and away from you. I'm going to start with the dry iron, pushing those seams the way I want them, keeping this piece nice and flat. I've already finger pressed for the most part. So. Yeah. Going, feels so bulky right there, but it wasn't. And then I'll steam. So strip piece number two is black with gray. Okay, let's get strip piece number made, and then we'll chop these up and start laying some stuff out. Since I don't really know how many blocks of what I'm going to need yet, and you guys are going to see what I'm going to make in very short period of time. And strip set number three is with the black and the white. All right, so camera's going to go back now. You're going to wiggle and wobble for a second, mostly like that. There we go. Now, let's move that there. This is going to be one of those one at a time things. All right, so we'll move those out of the way. I'm going to grab all that out of the way. I'm just going to go stick these down over there with all that cut stuff and uncut stuff. All right. I'm on video. I'm cutting from the side so that you can see. I am going to find, okay, which one? Measure width strips from edge dot. I've never used this actual ruler. I used that other one. So this one, I think, for my line, that's going to be my seam line. I'm going to assume that line right there. Yep, it's that line right there. Okay. So I'm going to line this up on this straight line because it's not going to be that side. Definitely not that side. It's definitely this side. Yes. Okay. And I'm going to go as far over to the edge as possible because I don't like waste. at all. And I'm going to cut this right here and right here. And really no effort to do so. And I'm also going to cut my dog ears off of both sides down here. So now I have a 60-degree diamond. And now I'm going to turn it and do the opposite side until this whole entire strip has been completed. So I'm just going to line that up nice and straight. Having so much fun already, as you guys probably are going to start seeing something quite shortly. So that's one pile. I'm going to be making two separate piles here. It's pile 2 because that was upside down. So right side up is one way. Oops, this side, Tiffany. Pile 1, pile 2, pile 1, pile 2. Get those little pieces out of the way so I can see my lines here. Cut these little things off. Just boom, pile 1. And turn it upside down. I'm pretty sure you can do this with any ruler that's 60 degree as long as you're going from separate from the half, as long as that half is lined up with something. So again, that's doing that pile. Then I'm right side up again. Oops, this way. I got to remember to turn the ruler because it looks the same from both sides except for that line. And if you line the line up, it doesn't come out where it's supposed to. So come down here, chop these little tails. So that's an upright. This is not an upright. Now let's see, 1, 2. Yeah, I'll just cut the whole thing up. I'll figure it out as I go. Just lining that edge up. And see, the cool part about doing this live stream is if I do mess up, you'd be like, oh, I don't want to make that because she messed up, so I don't want to mess up. But in reality, you're going to be like, oh, I do want to make that. You'll see. Because I'm a creative bug. I'm letting all my juices flow right here, live with you on camera. It's upright. Isn't upside down. I have to keep telling myself. Just gotta make yourself like Jenny Doan says, a mantra to remember which way you're working. That was my upside down pile. Right side up. Nope, nope, nope. That's right side up. I got to remember that this 1/4 inch looking dot thing is the top side, not the bottom side. Probably only need 6 of these, or no, I'm thinking right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I probably need 10. 10 of them. 10. That's okay. I'll figure it out. As long as I have plenty to work with. And this wonderful, nicely fresh, that was that pile. Yes. This nicely fresh blade makes it so much easier. Ah, don't. Really don't matter, but don't move on me. This can make a rhombus. I just looked at the comments, by the way. This can make the rhombus. If you follow the pattern in the book. That's not what I am making, though. I'm not using the book. I'm just going off of my brain design. whatever I come up with in my head. And I could finally officially say that I've used this ruler. I have a feeling that no matter which way these are, it's going to be the same, because I made the strip exactly the same on all of them. So I probably could cut all of them in bulk if I wanted. And obviously I cannot get another piece out of this, and I won't throw that away because you never know. So I'll just stick that up in my never know pile. Alright, and since I can do this in bulk, I'm thinking I'm going to go ahead and cut these next ones real quickly. Like, I'm just going to line them on top of each other all the way down. Probably shouldn't do this at home, but I'm going to do it for video's sake by just getting it done. Probably shouldn't, but I am. And let's make sure it's all lined up. And I'm just going to go ahead and just cut all this up. This way, this way. And I try to get as much as I can out of my fabric. Slide it away ever so slightly. Put that back on there so I can get these little pre-dog ears off. It helps line everything up. So we're going to put that there, that there, that there, and that there. There we go. Throw that up there. Turn it upside down. Alright, so I wish I could put this in fast forward like I do in my videos, but unfortunately, we're on live stream. So you guys are just going to have to put up with me cutting this and talking to myself. And I should read comments, like I said, but it's kind of hard to do that when I'm cutting with a fresh new blade, because you guys know I do not want to cut myself, and you guys don't want me to cut myself while on camera either. And I really hope I'm doing this ruler right. I've never used it before, so I'm hoping that I did. I should have read the instructions, but I'm going off of, I put 60-degree triangles together, so why not with the diamonds? It should be the same thing. Oops, that's this way now. This way. It's easy to get turned around. Ooh-wee. Very easy. How many of you used this ruler, by the way? I'm curious to know. And if you're watching this video after the fact, let me know if you've used this ruler before. It's the Marty Mitchell or Marty Michelle. I don't know how to pronounce that. I think it was corrected earlier in my thing. I've never used it before, so this is my first time with my own thing. I'm not even using the book because I didn't know what I was going to do. I should have done the square star thing. I was going to do it first with this stack, but I figured it'd be better to just randomly make something as opposed to creating something you guys see me do a bazillion times. You know, I like when I do fresh stuff instead of stuff you've seen 100 times on everybody else's channels, or my channel even. I'm going to kind of scroll back up a little bit. Okay, I wish I had a larger air conditioner. Pools aren't open due to the virus. It's a good thing I have one in my backyard. It's not a big pool. It's just a little kiddie pool, and on top of it, well, I can't say kiddie pool because it really isn't that tiny. It's a 12-foot round by it goes to the top of my legs when my water. So it's like, I don't even have a measuring tape. It's like 36 inches tall or 34 inches tall, something like that. So it's definitely a good size for relaxing. My little floaty thing that I have, it's actually not little, it's just a regular pool floaty, you know, the kind you buy at Walmart and blow up. Fits perfectly. I float around just right in it. No issues. That's the kind of pool I have. I have to get a dehumidifier. Somebody was telling me I need that for if I was to have something in my garage and or for my breathing. So hard to keep all this in the same line. Oh, I'm sweating. Sweating gross. I like Aussie Moose. It's hairspray. Yeah, the neighborhood pool. I think it may be open at the end of June. Lots of new rules. I want to pool in my backyard. I do too, but don't want to take care of it. You know, it's surprisingly not that bad to take care of. These little small on top of the ground pools. I actually posted a video to my Facebook channel a long time ago on how simple it is to clean the little dig ball pools and keep up with them. Yeah, I've had one for many, many, many years. The one that's up now at this house, we've had a pool up for 6 years. At my old house, I had a bigger one. I had the 24-foot round by 4.5 foot tall pool. Like it literally went up to like here on me. And that's not very hard to keep clean either. Just depends on how much, you can do. I usually clean the pool while I'm enjoying being in it, I don't even remember what piles I'm in anymore. They're about the same. This way now. No, this way. I'm still going to keep scrolling. Okay, I already answered the rhombus. My daughter, it's a kiddie pool for her dogs. That would be enough exercise. 60 degree. Hi, Lynetta. First time joining my live. Well, thank you. Welcome. It's rough, uncut footage here of whatever I do. You never know what I'm doing on the Insomniac videos. For those that are new to my channel, these are just me screwing around with stuff, having fun, enjoying the craft, and enjoying myself. And I can't sleep, and neither can anyone else, so why not come on here and show something new and different when we can't sleep. Oh, don't move. Definitely need some kind of tape on here, especially when you're working with seams. You don't want the ruler to move when you got seams. All right, that was the last one for that. Now you guys get to see what I'm attempting here. Just close that blade before I cut myself. Let me read some comments before I lay something out. All right, hi Jim. Welcome. Thank you. Except for the color from MSQC. Yeah, I don't have a rhombus actually, so it looks just like it. I made the when I originally made the rhombus, I made it with 60 degree diamonds only. Not the diamond, I mean the triangle only, which is the other triangle that I have. Hi Nita. Let's see who else. Yeah, B's there to use the rhombus template, Diane. Me, we used it. Oops, never opened it. Don't have that one. Don't have that one. I have the one from SQC. I have plans for tumbling block later. On my bucket list, make quilt. I made the tumbling block, but I made it with all Y seams. So very difficult, very difficult. And I was new when I started it too. And I quilted it as because I was new when I did it. They didn't come out perfect. have a 28-foot by 5 foot above ground. Yeah, so you have a big one. My neighbors have that big, huge one. They don't have it filled though. It's just sitting there. They didn't decide that they didn't want to fill it this year. So I want the taller one. That sounds perfect. Hi, Billy. Just woke up. Well, welcome. All right. I'm going to move these to my 2 separate little piles over here. And now hopefully you guys can see what I'm going to be doing here. Because I'm going to start laying something out. So I need 3 of these, which I had got 3 per fat quarter. So I was able to get 3, 6, 9, and there's 5 different ones. So I'm going to take 1 of each of these. 3, and then I'm going to choose a secondary color. So there's 5 colors altogether, and I want it to contrast. You always want, if you're doing diamonds, you always want contrast next to it, unless you're like building a Lone Star and you're building the color out. So let's see which one goes best with that. I guess it doesn't really matter. I don't want those 2 together. I want those 2 together. So I'm going to pull these 3. All right. So I'm going to pull those 3. And I'll do more in a second. Because I already cut tons of these. So I'll probably have to do more combinations of these. So I'm going to lay this out. Just like this. Okay, and just watch. I'm going to choose the white for this one. So I'm going to lay that there. Lay that there. They should be opposites. Aha. So if the seam goes up this way, and it's going to go down, so when they're hooked together, the seams will nest. See that? Oops, I'm hoping that you could see it on the camera. I want my seams to nest. So that's why I separated 2 piles. So I got a seam up pile and a seam down pile. So I'm just going to take my seam up and seam down pile, 1 of each, and go all the way around this. This. And it looks like I put 2 in the same pile probably, so I'm going to have to check all these seams. Like that. Those are both going up. That's down, up. Oops, okay, so this one looks like they're both going down, so we need a up. So that's up, and that's down. That's up, that's down, that's up. That's, I could tell by the color seeping through. That's up, that's down, that's up, and that's down. So they should match when I do those 2. Okay, now I have that. I'm going to put this together like this. So I'm going to put these together, these together, these together, these together, these together, and these together. So that I don't get anything out of order and don't mess anything up. Move that out of my way. I'm going to move all this back up here out of the way for now. Because we still have to make other sets. I knew I'm going to have to cut tons of these. Put these on top of each other right there. Want these out of my way. Right there. And I have 2 left of those. I'm going to stick this over here, and I'm also going to bring you guys a little bit closer so that you can watch this closer. So give me 2 seconds. I didn't mean to lose you guys for that very short, brief moment. I'm going to be right here. I'm going to tip it down just ever so slightly. Actually, I'm going to tip it down a lot more slightly because it wants to do that. Okay, so that you can see I'm going to pull from these. I'm also going to attempt to read my comments. So I'm going to be sewing these units together. this. Bring them all close to me so that I can reach everything. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna start by sewing this to this, and the cool part about these is those ends are trimmed off. So that's what I love about these kind of rulers with those ends trimmed off. So it's gonna make it so easy to line everything up. So I'm gonna go ahead and sew down this side right here. And then I'm going to press this towards the piece. So towards my diamond. And then I'm going to go ahead. I don't have an iron next to me, so I'm just going to go ahead and grab that piece that goes on it. Lay it on here. Again, it's going to line up with this edge, and this corner will line up with that flat tip right there. So I'm going to start up here and sew down 1/4 of an inch. Okay, and now I'm going to press this out. So I want to press everything the same. Yeah, it needs to be pressed the same direction so that it lays right. So I'm going to stick this one here. Yeah, because if that one presses under, those seams will nest. Okay, I'm making sure in my brain that this will work. So now I'm going to grab these two, right sides together. Obviously, nothing needs to be, it's all matched up naturally from using the ruler. So I'm going to press this towards the diamond. And then I'm going to grab the next one, put it up here, right sides together. Everything should match up. And right now I'm just finger pressing, but that's the same. I'm really not going to have an issue between finger pressing and not finger pressing. I'm going to line up this end and this end. I'm going to sew this through. And I think I'm going to be out of bottom. Am I out of bottom? Nope, I still bottom. Why did it do that? Okay. So now I'm going to finger press this towards, I did that on that towards the outer piece. So I'm going towards the white. I'm going to lay that there. Let's see if those are opposite when I lay them together. So that should be towards the white. Okay, good. Those will be opposite. So yeah, I'm finger pressing everything in that direction. Yes. Okay. So let me grab this next one from up here. Ouch. So this was right here like that. And this piece goes right here like that. I know you can see up here. So I'm going to start with this one, right sides together, matching up my little end. Finger press it towards the diamond, or iron if you want. I don't want to have to keep getting up and down. I'm already getting up and down enough with the picking up of these pieces above me. That's not a walk at least, so that's good. All right, now I'm going to finger press towards the triangle that I put on. So now these three right here will get put together, but for now I'm going to build this other set real quick. So I'm going to put these two on and grab that. So I'm just going to build the rest of them for now, but this is going to be built like hexagons, the whole quilt. It's definitely something I'm going to have to lay on the floor and crawl around with, because I told Scott about wanting to build a design wall, so hopefully we'll be able to get a design wall built for me soon, hopefully. Not really built per se. I just want to turn the empty wall that I have no quilts on just into a design wall now. Usually I have a quilt hanging, but I haven't in a while since I'm using my birthday quilt. All right, so those go together. This will go together. Let's go on the opposite side. All right, again, it's pressing towards. And then this one will go press. This one will be pressed towards the piece that I'm adding. Probably seen something similar like this on the internet. I don't know. I just thought of it and said, hey, I have the ruler. Let's mix this. And these black and white pieces, I think, is going to make it look super awesome because I'm going to rotate the color throughout. All right, so then that goes there. And these should end up opposite, right? Up. And this should be down. Yep, okay. So I'm making sure I'm putting them on the right ones as well while I'm doing this, because if I don't, then I will get messed up and I'll have to flip a seam, which don't bother me. All right, so this will go towards the diamond. And then this one will get turned, oops, this way. Put it on, everything should line up. And then press towards the piece I just added. So now I have half hexies that I have to put together. But I'm going to read the comments real quick. Okay, I saw that. Billy just woke up. Wow, cool, awesome, looks cool. I love black, white, gray. Okay, I saw that pretty. Name sturdy leather here. I built on one side of the pool. Comes out of the porch. Oh, that's cool. I like you're doing with the diamonds when it comes to your house. We also have pool steps walk down into the pool. Oh, that's awesome. Welcome anytime, huh? And that's what I need. See, he's far drive, our town tore out our pool. New ones need to finish. Oof, need to exercise, not walking. Which one? Foam insulation board cover with funnel. It's cheap, lightweight, and easy. Yeah, that's probably what we're gonna do. With the foam insulation board. All right, so now I have these pieces, and I know you guys can see these right here. I'm gonna hook the 3 of these pieces together, but I'm not hooking all together. So I'm just gonna hook 3 together. Again, this is going to be something that I'll be laying on the floor to put together because unfortunately, and no, I'm not ironing, by the way. I won't be able to, I don't know about the whole crawling around on the floor thing right now. I'm just going to try to put them together and see what happens. So now I'm going to nest these seams. I should have pressed, but I'm not going to. Leave my needle down. I'm going to line up that next seam. They should line right up. Everything's pressed opposite. And the next seam after that even should all line up. If everything was cut exactly the same, then everything should line up. So now I'm going to press all of it. So I'm going to make a rotating circle. So every time I make a block, everything is going to be pressed. If it's in front of me, it's being pressed away from me. All right, so now I'm going to grab this one and put it on right here. Again, all of my seams should nest, so it doesn't matter which side you start from. As long as you nest your seams, you can pin them. I'm not going to pin them. I've given you the measurements along the way, so you have to watch the videos, depending on how many videos this turns into. You'll have to watch the videos for everything to understand what I am doing here. And I always stop at the seam. This should line up right here at the bottom. I think most quilters probably press these seams open, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to press them to one side. To me, it's not going to bother me. So at this point, I will press the block. So now I'm going to put these together now. So again, these are going to go right sides together. I'm going to grab the side that I will sew. I'm going to nest this first seam and second seam because they're so close together. It doesn't really matter. Just going to hold it with my finger because my finger is the pin. Ah, stay in my fingers. I'll lay it down. And if I mess up, at least I'm messing up live on camera. I always stop in the seam with my needle down. Go the rest of the way down. Again, every time I press something, I'm going to always finger press it away from me. That way I remember with every single block that everything is pressed away from me, and I should be able to keep direction throughout this whole entire thing. So now this would go back right here. So this is the next piece right here that I'm sewing on. So I'm going to line it up. I'm going to line up this seam right here. Stop with my needle down, make sure that other one matches, which it does, because that's just a 1-inch space, so there should be no getting that off. Sew to the next one, and then line up to the very end. Again, I'm going to finger press it away from me so that I remember each time. Okay, so now I have 2. I'm going to go ahead and press, and then I'll show you how the next step is going to go. So I got to bring these. I really don't need this right now, or this right now, or this right now. What I really need is to just press with all that out of my way. So that way you can watch me press real quick. You get to just stare at my backside. I'm just going to turn the camera as I move, I guess. So all of my seams are going one direction all the way, which is just fine by me. I really don't care. Again, this one should be the same thing. All of these should be going in the same direction. Yes. I think this will look really cool, hopefully. With all the color change, hopefully. Because it's all black, white, and gray. It should look good. And I got to put some more sets together so you guys can get the general idea of what I'm doing before I even get off of this live stream. All right, so now I'm going to press this whole thing. Everything was finger pressed, so I can go ahead and give it steam the whole way. It's no big deal. Everything was finger pressed as I was going. Okay. Let me turn. I'm going to turn it down. So we're going to leave these as half hexagons now. Okay. Because when it's full, that's what it's going to look like. So let's build another one. I'm just going to take this whole thing and put it out of the way. I'm also going to turn you guys around so that I can read. So there's that. I'm just going to set it out of the way, and we're going to work on this color now. And we're going to grab 2 more colors. It looks like we're going to have to build a lot of strip sets to get tons of these, because we're going to need more of these than we get of these, I think. So let's take 2 colors that contrast. So these 2. So let's pull this gray out, because gray is my background color, so I really don't want the gray next to the gray, you know. So every time I use this gray, I'll use the black. All right, so I'm going to do the same exact thing all over again, except this time a totally different color. So let me put those up out of the way. Now I'm going to grab 1 from each. So I'm going to make sure again that my piles, while I'm looking, okay, those are opposite. So I'm going to put 1 of each. Sorry that I hit the camera. These are opposite seams, see? So I'm going to put 1 of each. I'm going to check them because I wasn't paying attention. Opposite seams, 1 of each. opposite seams, one of each. Actually, that one goes this way, that one goes that way. Then I have this one first, this one second, and this one first, and this one second. It's from the bottom, so I should have 2 left again. So that'll make sense when I get further in. So that's, yep. I'm making sure all my seams are going the way I want them. So again, I'm going to do the same exact thing. I'm going to start sewing them like this in sections like this. So I'm just going to turn the camera and I'm going to just start sewing like crazy real quick so that I can get to the next color as fast as I possibly can. So I'm going to turn the camera up again towards me so you guys can just watch me sew. Why does this keep twisting sideways? I have no idea, but sorry about that if you guys feel like you're crooked. I don't mean for that to happen. All right, so I'm going to repeat the whole process all over again. So I'm just going to go right sides together. I'm going to match these up, and since the tips were cut off, it makes it so much easier. So I'm going to press towards the diamond, pick this piece up, put it on, and then I'll press away from the diamond towards the 60 degree triangle, or towards the triangle. So I'm just going to go ahead and build these really quickly like. I'm going to try to catch comments, but I have a feeling that I'm not going to as fast as I would like, but more learning happens, I guess, when I'm not watching the comments. Or more work happens, actually, when I'm not watching the comments. Got the next one, put it on. So for those of you who have used this ruler, what did you make with it? Was it from the book, or did you make something on your own like me? I'm making it easier by just putting these two together now. Get it done. That's my first 2 seams. Second seams, third seam, and last end. Again, pressing away from me. And the next set. Oops, come on. Line it up. What was I asking? Oh, what did you make? Was it out of the book, or was it not? What did you make? You used this ruler. And if you're watching this after the fact, comment in the comments. Tell me what you made with this Marty Michelle 60 degree ruler. Or template. I don't know why I always just call them rulers, not templates. I never say the word template. I don't know why. I have to start saying that though, because I've got so many templates now that I need to start saying the word, the correct terminology. Beginners. We all know it's a ruler. So if you're not chit-chatting like I'm doing, this goes together rather quickly, or at least it should. So here's another portion, and I'll press that in a minute. So grab all these. So always finger pressing everything away from me. Or use an iron if you want, if you must. You know, I kind of, like I've said this before in other videos, I honestly don't see a, you know, like a complete difference in the pressing in between everything. I don't see the complete difference, honestly. I don't know. I've pressed projects the whole way through, and I've not pressed projects the whole way through, and I don't see any difference. There's a couple times that I do, especially quilt blocks that are on the bias completely. Those are the ones that I definitely notice a difference with pressing and not pressing. So, but when it comes to stuff, even just stuff like this, even though it is on the bias and it's stretchy, I still don't really. I'm not seeing a difference if I was to have pressed or not. So far, everything seems to be lining up just right. So again, I'm pressing everything away from me. And that next one, put it on there. And you know that you got your triangle wrong if you put it on any other way. See, you will know that it's wrong. So as long as you're putting it on the correct way, when it's pieced like this, you'll know it's the correct direction every time. That's one thing about having something in the same spot every piece, you know, is getting it in the correct position. You know you're not messing up. All right, now to hook all of these together. I still want to make another set, that way you guys can see a little bit more of what I'm doing here, even if it's just me pretending to lay it out before I come back again with another episode, because I don't want to be on forever in a day. Some of us do like sleep. And some of us could care less. We like our sewing. And I know some of you just like watching me make things, no matter what time of day it is. All right, so I'm going to add this last one right here. Shouldn't be able, I mean, it shouldn't be too hard to keep everything in order. It's going to be the layout is the problem. This will be pieced together in rows. That's why I'm not hooking two sides together. Again, I'm pressing it away from me. I'm going to take this over to the iron and press it while it's still on. I'll be right back. I'm just going to press. Oh, nope, it turned itself off about 2 seconds ago, so that's good. Okay. So let's show you this one, and then I'll build one more. So here's this one. Tip the camera down so you can see. So there's the next one. So I'm not going to put them together just yet. I'm just leaving them like that. Okay, so let me build another one, this time with the black as my background color. So I'll just leave the screen this way for now. So I'm going to just take these like this side, and we're going to grab this color now. So there should be 3, and then we're going to grab another color to go with this one. So let's take that next set of 3, and we're going to pull from it. And I think I want to put the next one I'll be doing is white, so this is going to have black. Let's just do these two because this will be fine. So we're going to pull all three of these striped ones again. Because I already did stripe, but we're going to do it again. Because obviously I only have so many colors to work with. I have 5. But that's okay. The combinations, there's so many combinations I can do with all 5 of these. All right. So we're going to lay this out. We're going to again take this pile, and I'm going to make sure just by holding it upside down, my seams are pressed opposite directions. So those are going down, these are going up. So again, I want, let's make sure that I'm doing this. I want a down and an up on each side. So this will be down, and then we'll put an up. So then I'm going to put a facing down and then facing up. We're going to put a facing down, and then a facing up, and then a facing down, and then a facing up, and a down and up. There we go. So I'll have 2 left towards my next set. So I'm going to go ahead and here's what I'm making. Let's turn this camera up. Blah, blah, blah. Stay still. I can't see comments just yet, but I know some are coming in because I saw it pop up. Let me quickly just scan through. It's beautiful, beautiful design. Yikes. Japanese maple tree. Nasty. Flooded basement. Quilts. Sounds beautiful. Take this row here. It's beautiful. Could you construct it in rows with the half XC in each row, then sew them together? That's what I'm doing actually, Nita, is constructing. I'm constructing them right now in half. I'm making these in half hexy segments like this first, and then I'm leaving them separate. I'm not going to connect the whole thing unless I wanted to do Y seams, which I don't mind doing Y seams, but for the sake of the video and getting things done faster, I'm just going to make them like this and then put them together. But I'm going to put them sort of together on the floor, just these 3 for now, just to show you guys how it's going to work. But it's going to be constructed in rows. 60-degree door. Hi, Delilah, by the way. I have a large one. Krista Moser creates beautiful work with these. I'm making her Blossom Ladybug quilt. Ooh, if you're in the group, you should share. I don't know who Krista Moser is, but I'll have to look it up. Or if you share it in the group, you know, that I could find it that way, because I'll forget. Outside cats keep critter away. Hi, Delilah. Our cat does pretty good outside, me too. Hi, Tony. I think I'm going to shut off my machine and go to bed. It's been fun watching, reading. Hi, Margaret. And good night, Tony, by the way. I know a lot of you don't stay up late, and some of you do, but that's what replays are for. All right, so I'm just going to start sewing, and if I see something that catches my eye comment-wise, I'll try my best to catch it, but for now I'm going to just sew on through. And I'm fine-ish. I have a fever, and I have the scratchy throat and itchies, but this is distracting me, so as long as you guys don't bring it up, I'm good. For now, at least. Good for now, at least. All right, so I'm going to go away from me. Add the next one. Like I said, again, here's black so you can tell. You're going to know if you have your piece wrong. You know what I mean? If you put this on wrong, obviously, you're going to know. So as long as the strip that you added in the center runs across the diamond with the diamond, then you definitely have it correct. And when you put it right sides together, it's going to go, you know, alongside with it. So, but that's only because it's right sides together. And again, I'm only finger pressing. For those of you, if you want to make this later and you remember my numbers, because I did give the measurements in the beginning of what I'm cutting, you could definitely make this, follow along. I pretty much do that in every single one of my videos. I give you guys all the numbers of what I'm doing. Not strips, so let's see if it works. It's Thursday afternoon in Australia. We had, on the farm, we had coons, rabbits, foxes, bobcats, panthers, and wild deer. And wow, that's a lot of stuff, Kim, on a farm. Pressing away from me, hook the two together. Some people don't put all these colors together. I personally am, because Diane commented she wouldn't have, but I'm just using what fat quarter sets that I had. It was 2 sets that gave me 10 fat quarters, and then I threw the 1 yard of black, 1 yard of white, and 1 yard of gray in, and threw it in a pile for those that are just joining, and said, I'm supposed to make something out of this as a video. Well, now it's finally come. It's been like 8 months. It's been sitting over there collecting dust on the shelf, but since I was cleaning the other day, last week on the Insomniac series, I was doing some cleaning and I was able to find things that I set aside. So now I can finally get some of that stuff done. It's definitely quite simple to put this together. I'm not having any trouble. Everything's lining right up. So as long as I remember to press away from me, that's my only thing, because no matter which way I put my rows, you know, as long as I made those sets together, then everything else should line up and match when I go to put everything together in the final setup. For now, though, I'm only going to make 1 white set, 1 gray set, and 1 black set. And then show you, and then I'll work on it again another night. Alright, finger press away from me. And I kind of just keep going like in a circular motion so that I don't lose my train of thought that everything is away from me. You get it? Away from me. So I'm going clockwise. Even if I'm hooking my pieces together on the way, I'm still going clockwise with everything. Seems to be doing pretty good though, lining up on where it's supposed to and all that. I'll leave my needle down because I've already finger pressed to this point. do one more. And then I can press this and then lay a couple out and show you. I'll use the ironing board to lay it out. That way I don't have to get on the floor. So I don't feel like crawling around. I don't think any of us do, honestly. I haven't felt like it in a while, but I did do it for my videos for video's sake. It's easier. But all that was filmed in fast forward, so it took a lot longer than the video let on. It may have been seconds, but it was like 30, 40, 50, 60 minutes that had gone by, and a lot of that. Double fast forwarded everything to shorten the video. Not to shorten any video. All right, I'm going to press these and then we'll lay them out. So I'm going to turn this and I'm going to turn you guys over. So everything is going clockwise, so it's easy to press. If I can let my iron heat back up for just a moment. Everything should stay nice. It's all lined up. How many of you get annoyed waiting for the iron to heat up? Oh, look, that's ready. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move that. Move that. I'm going to bring you guys over here to the ironing board. And face you down right here. And I'm going to lay this out. Okay. So it's going to be pieced together in rows. And we're just going to pretend there's a ton of rows already. So we're going to start with row 1. Row 2. Then this would be row 3 and row 4. Okay. Let's come up a little because we're pretending here. Okay. And then this would be row 5. Row 1 again and row 2. So it'd be piecing it together in rows like so. And I'm going to have to adjust the camera so that you can see. Yeah. So I don't know if anybody's ever done this. So say there would be another one here. You know what I mean? This would be matching here, but we're going to pretend. Okay, because I have no other way to show you. So this would be here, you know, and then another one of these, let me move that back over, would be up here, you know, so that's grouplets would be everywhere, but I got to make sure everything piece with this group stays together. Everything that I piece with this group stays together, this group, and so on. And then when it comes to the final layout, you know, I'll just make enough to where I go however many by however many, you know. I think they look really super awesome. So I'll just change the color combination. So black will go on this one at one point in time. These two will get, you know what I mean? I'll just keep changing the color combos, but I will leave all these sets together, you know? So it'll be like that. Or, you know what I mean? So this would be the middle and so on. Okay. So that's what I'm basically doing. Is that. And then when I put them all together, all of my seams will be going opposite ways because I had pressed everything opposite. So no matter which way I turn everything, again, it will be opposite. Everything will be opposite, no matter which way I go. I will just keep my group sets together like this, you know, and this is what I'm making. I'm just going to keep these together, keep making piles, keep cutting pieces, and everything that's left over I'll make something totally different with. So these are all my sets, and I'll make a ton more. All right, so let me bring the camera back over here, tip it up. If I can tip it up, there we go. Stay. So again, I cut 4.5-inch strips from Fat Quarters, and I got these from this 60-degree diamond and triangle. Mine's the Marty Michelle one, but from what I'm just now told that the Missouri Star Quilt Company one, the yellow color, or this color, greenish yellow color, this neon one, is going to be the same color as the same ruler. So it's 4.5-inch 60-degree diamond. I'm not going by the patterns in the book. I'm just doing my own thing. Why? Because I like to do my own thing. And I cut them up and then I'm pairing them. So from every 3, the next color that's left over from these will go to the next. And then after I have enough of these, the next pile, I'll stop when I have 10 left over of each color. And then I should stop. So I'm just going to keep making these. So right now I have 1. So I have 9 more times of making these strip sets because I get 10 per cut. And then anything and everything that I have left over, as you guys have seen, I always use my scraps. So there'll be tons and tons and tons of scraps left. As well as I was only able to get 3 4.5-inch strips from my Fat Quarters because my Fat Quarters were cut on the wonky side. So I still have a strip to go with all of my scraps for me to make something with. So I definitely will be able to make something really good sized from all my leftovers, and or cut these down and use them as a scrappy binding when I'm completely done with my whole entire project with these pieces, and the rest go to something else. So for now, I'm just keeping them separated so that in case I want to do scrappy binding, I can, you know? So yeah, so I'm making the diamonds. This is the ruler I am using again, which looks like this. And I'm cutting for these is a 2 1/4 inch strip, a 1 inch strip, and a 2 1/4 inch strip. So when it's laid on the half, I think it's this side. When it's laid on the half, it's the same size as the half from this line here. I know holding against black is hard to see. So I'm using that as my line. So when I turn my ruler upside down, this will go on the top of the strip. And when I turn it, this goes on the bottom. And when I turn it, so on and so forth. So for those of you who want to make this, and again, if your seams are all pressed one direction, as you saw, your upside down one and your right side up one should be opposite seams, so that way you use one from each pile to nest. So it would be, gotta grab these again. they'll be opposite because these came from a different side than the other. So everything will always nest up when put together. And if you watched the way I did it, you should always have a nested seam, so they'll always match up. What else was I going to say? Trying to think of what else I was doing. Anyway, so I'm going to continue on doing that. I'll probably do some off camera because then or else I'll just be doing this forever, but it's not very hard to put together. So, and you can use as many colors as you want. I probably should have used a different or fat quarter bundle, but this is what I had laying out, and I found it when I cleaned the last episode. So, all right, let me go up a little bit, and I'm going to totally sit for the rest of this video. Okay. Let's see. Okay, you guys are just talking about stuff and keeping each other. Delilah has finishing projects, they call you. You have a whole Area 51 currently. So do I. Oh, I like that's funny. Let's see. So I'm going to just scroll past all that because you guys are doing okay. Delilah, I love the colors. Tiffany, is this a quilt or table runner I got? Like, it's going to be whatever size quilt I can make. I'm just going to keep making blocks until I have a whole quilt worth to make. On the floor, too hard to get back up. I believe us about the Panther either managed to get picture proof. Yeah. I like that ironing board. Thank you. My husband cut it out and drilled it to my ironing board, the wood. And there's a video on it. It's not very good quality. It was recorded a long, long time ago, but I show how I put it together and how he drilled the holes. A set in drill. You have to have a husband with specialty tools. We didn't even have the tools. We had to ask a neighbor. Voluntarily in 5 years. Elementary cool kids. It's a charm. You start to see fabric build again. It's get for a bit. Jim, if I get down, well, if I go, they're so bad. And everything else first. Also, hold on, I'm not hurt. Yeah, fabric shortages in your area as well. Oh, we don't have fabric left in our area. Oh, not at all. And right now, the websites like Walmart even won't even let us buy by the bolt. And I'm gonna needing bolts are my main colors that I use for everything. This amazing, fun, really beautiful, striking, gorgeous. What's the name of this quilt? I don't know. I'm just making it. I don't think there's a name. I didn't see it's not on the picture of the book in the patterns. I don't know. I just thought strip set would go around it when I was thinking at the beginning when I said the diamonds. There's probably one out there. I don't know. But I've seen this right here. I know how these are put together because these are not this one, this one. This is put together in a half hexy thing. I just figured a stripe in here would be the best. So I don't need to follow directions for that because I know how to do that. So that's why I added the stripe in there. I just had to get the number for it. So I don't know. This one would be Y seams. This is like the tumbling block in the put together way, just like this is. This is just oriented different color wise. I've done chevrons, but not that way. It's just half square triangles. Perfect. I want to look in this book real quick because I never used it, so I'm kind of curious real quick. No, it shows that you can change the color or cut them in half. Make it a certain size. There's an encyclopedia of patchwork. Works good with this hexagon thing. There's a multi-size hexagon ruler. I do not have that. I wish I did. That would be cool. Probably square everything up really nicely. so far. These are just popular designs. Oh, this one looks really cool. I could have done something like that. The littler ones built into the bigger ones. That would have been awesome. I like what I'm doing so far though. Just shows you how to cut it. How to cut it. It says to line the ruler. I didn't do it that way, but sure, why not? Just really pretty much is the same thing, cutting left-handed or right-handed. Cutting equilateral, triangle part. Oh, I did line it up on the correct line, it looks like. And then you choose the size on the side. See, I didn't even read the instructions. I just figured that's how it goes. Needed a line to go on. So I guess if you had the hexagon, you could actually hook all sorts of pieces together. I don't have the hexagon, but I could probably get one in the future. Yeah, this doesn't have anything in it. Tells you how to hook hexagons in the back. I know how to do that with Y seams. Shows all sorts of like things you can do, like a grandmother's flower garden. I don't know what that is. Kite and a crown kite. Oh, you need a crown ruler. Old it, see. I don't know what that is. That probably needs, oh, it needs a half hexie or the hexie to do that. And then they have another one where you can do strip templates. So yeah, it's not in here. I don't know. I've probably seen it before. I don't know. But you guys know me. I'm inspired by the things you do, and I could have seen this 4 years ago. I just thought that the pieced part would look good. I really thought, that's why I was trying to think of what the number would be for it to equal 4.5. So yeah, it works out perfect. So if I was just to take a ton of these and put them together, I could create a hexagon. That would be cool. So my leftover pieces, I could just mess around with the leftover pieces. This, just for an example, and do like this. Can you see that? So this could be the leftovers right here. This is actually kind of cool too. Let's see if I can't put this on something. This would make a really cool quilt. See, now I just gave myself an idea for next time I play with this ruler. Look at that. Oops. Come on. Are you kidding me? It's not a design wall, so it's not going to stay. This is a hexagon within a hexagon. Wouldn't that be awesome? That's why I like string piecing or strip piecing. So yeah, next time. That would be so cool. And this would be put together in rows as well. So it'd make it super easy. Anyway, let's throw those down there. And all right, guys. The ruler has different sizes. Love your combination. Okay, I already answered that. Blah, blah, blah. Where are we at? Finally, maybe getting tired. I want to make one of those ironing. Hi, Marlene. I've been watching. Looks great. I'm cutting and sewing as I watch. Oops. Stupid thing. Great idea on the ironing board. Might have to steal the idea. Still away. That's why I made the video. It's just a 64 by 20. I don't have my measuring tape in here. I had to measure some stuff earlier, so I took it out of the room. I think it's 26 by 64, or it's 25 by 64. It's something like that. It's pretty darn big, and it's only 1/4 inch plywood. If I would have used 1/2 inch plywood, it'd have been too heavy to put on the ironing board. And the kind of ironing board that we used was the kind with the slats in the back, so that you can drill the holes. So, oh, hold on, I gotta bring the camera over to it. So this is the ironing board with these, because that's the only way you're gonna get a set-in screw. And then we used a big bolt underneath, or a washer, and then the bolt. And it's set into the table. So the screws are flush with the top of the ironing board. So it's lighter weight being the thinner. The only thing is after a while it's starting to warp. If I keep heavy things on it and don't put it up, it's starting to warp the wood because of, yeah. So but the thicker the thicker wood won't, it's not sturdy enough. This ironing boards are not sturdy enough for it. You would really need a good sturdy industrial board for that. So yeah. Anyway, where was I? Looks like a spider web. You can make a hex with a diamond ruler if you cut 4.5-inch strip. You use the ruler straight up and down. In the middle, you got a hexie. Okay. I just want to scratch. I'm gonna get off of here so I can put some anti-itch on. This is starting to irritate me now. I can hear your camera focus every time once in a while. It startles me every time. Sorry about that. I think it's her phone. It's funny. It's because the phone is hooked up to the, I put the microphone on it for you guys so that it would drown out background sounds when the sewing machine's on while I'm talking. So yeah. All right, guys. Anyways, what was I going to say? I will be back on again whenever I feel like it. Unfortunately, I cannot give you guys an exact time and day when I'm going to have my Insomniac episodes. I'm usually up. Everybody knows I'm awake, but I can't always be in here sewing. I started sewing before everyone went to sleep, so it was easier. If I start sewing after everyone went to sleep, then I end up waking people up. So I have to always start. So 1 o'clock in the morning comes around and I'm still awake, but everyone already went to sleep. I don't want to come in here and start sewing because then I'll wake them. And that's just rude because other people need their sleep. I'm the only crazy one in this house. So I thank you guys all for hanging out, and I'll come back on another episode. I will get some more cutting and sewing done before I come on with this, because now I'm like intrigued how big it's going to even be with 10 fat quarters and 3 yards of fabric. It should be pretty darn big. And I don't know how I'm going to end it as well. I'll probably do triangles, plain ones at the ends to fill in the empty space as the background. Just choose one of the colors and so be it, kind of thing. So other than that, I hope everybody has a good night, and I'm glad you guys all hung out. And if you're new to my channel, subscribe. As I think I was pointing towards my tattoo arm. I'm going to hold my horse right here. Yeah. No, subscribe is this way. Oh, look at that. I got to remember, subscribe on back facing camera is star arm. Subscribe on front facing camera is dragon arm. Stars, dragon. So subscribe that way. Like my videos and share them with your quilty family and friends. And I will see you guys next time we can't all sleep. Good night. Mwah. 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 I love you all. Now I got to take it out of here just to turn this thing off. Ugh. Good night.